This is Hot Topex. So hot.
No, it was oh so hot. Oh so spicy.
Hot Topex.
Come on.
Nice.
You've got to go Hot Topex. Oh so hot.
Oh yeah.
And
okay.
I'm going to go
Okay.
oh so spicy. Right. Take 55,000.
This is Hot Topex. Oh so hot.
And oh so spicy.
One.
Welcome.
Welcome.
This is our first ever episode. Are you excited? I can see it. You are. We're excited, aren't we?
You gonna ask me, Neve, or what?
Well, I'm more interested now. I know that you're excited. I've got you bloody sat next to me.
True. She can feel it.
I can always feel it with you. Anyway, Mo, why don't you tell them less about you and more about what's coming up in our first ever show?
Right here. So we're going to be learning about the plight of the white rhino, who I've learned of late, thank you, Neve, is functionally extinct.
It's very sad.
Face. Sad face.
It is a sad face.
Dried up. We'll be speaking to the general public and finding out what they think. We'll also be speaking to sustainable fashion brand, gotta get this right, Ecofy,
Yay! You got it right.
who recently shot to fame after designing costumes for Instagram queen Kylie Jenner. Go on, you Jenner! Jenner, anyway.
He's been waiting the whole time to do that one little bit. Nice. Anyway, and then after the break, stay tuned because we're going to be speaking exclusively to Matt Holmes, who is the assistant producer of Sega Games. And he's going to be telling us all about how their arcade games are produced, researched and developed. And then to end our episode this week, we're going to have an exclusive series called The Pride Diaries, developed by me, to celebrate the end of a wonderful Pride Month and to show some inclusivity for our fellow LGBTQ plus followers. So stay tuned for all of this to come.
Bit of a boo-boo, wasn't it? It was cute. The story of the white rhino, whose story captured the hearts and minds of the nation very recently, after they've been found to be functionally extinct, due to, drumroll please, the actions of humans. We'll be speaking to the general public to find out what they think.
Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to Topics News. Hot Topex. I am your presenter, Neve Colclout, as you already know, and today we are down in the Bay, Cardiff Bay, where it happens, talking to people about the very tragic event and story, read the article below, on the functional extinction of the wild white rhino. So we're going to see what you guys, the general public, have to think about this very sad situation. So they've been trying to conserve them for years, and if you know, back in 2018 there were only 2 left and they tried to conserve them, but because of funding cuts and everything. So do you think that the government are doing enough and putting enough money into conservation efforts? What do you think about that?
I mean, do they contribute to the World Wildlife Fund?
A little bit, but not as much as they do to us.
Yeah. So and I'm sure they're cutting their obviously spending aid budgets, etc. So I think that relying upon charity to help with these kind of global causes is pointless, really.
Where do you see life? What do you see life like in the future at the rate that we're going? Because it's quite a daunting prospect.
Very grey. No animals. I imagine we'll run out of giraffes soon.
Yeah.
But I reckon they'll just become like a myth in a zoo.
Yeah.
You could be like, well, here they are, but you can't find them anywhere else.
Okay, so last week the wild white rhino became functionally extinct. So how does that make you feel? What do you think about that?
I think it's very sad. Obviously there's not been many of them in recent times, but I think it's mostly sad because it's not natural causes, it's happening because of us, and I think that's the worst part. The animals haven't done anything wrong and we're killing them all.
So how many animals do you think went extinct last year alone in 2020? Even during a pandemic where people weren't even travelling or doing much?
I'd say about 5.
15.
It's quite sad.
It's very sad.
Not as
like
much as
this
much
year.
of the food
I know.
skips.
Do you think that would
would you say that you think the government have done enough in terms of conservation efforts?
No, absolutely not. I think that it's very low on their list of priorities. I think it should be a lot higher. I think that they're ignoring the issue until more people start petitioning about it, and I think they like to ignore the young generations who actually have something to say.
Yeah.
So white rhinos.
Mm-hmm.
I can't claim to be an expert on white rhinos and the animal kingdom, but I know you are, Neve.
I'm not an expert, but I'm passionate about it.
Okay.
But no, yeah, so I don't know. What did you think about all that, Mel? What do you think about it?
I mean, to be honest, I was quite shocked.
Mm-hmm.
We often hear about the plight of human beings.
Yeah.
But kind of like the animal kingdom and stuff, we don't really realise how much our activities impact them.
Yeah.
I was just quite shocked, really, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean when I was doing the Vox Pops. I don't know if you saw there, but I mentioned the statement about the fact that 15, not just one species became extinct last year, 15. I don't know, to me, that's a high number. But the main thing that got me about doing those Vox Pops with the public in Cardiff Bay was that all you guys see is what we put out, but behind that, we spoke to 3-4 more people who said they had nothing to say on the issue because they didn't really care. And to me, that's the most worrying thing about it. I don't know how as a young person, well, no matter what age, to be honest, it's just we're asking young people in our world how you couldn't care about the future of that. And I think that's an issue in itself, that maybe the people who can do something about it don't care enough about it. It really shocked me. Because I don't know, don't you think, I mean, you care, surely? You better care. You better
I do
care
now.
about the rhinos.
No, I do, obviously.
But you know what I mean? That's worrying.
I think so. And I think sometimes, like, we generally care about things that we see, and we don't really see the plight of animals.
Yeah.
We don't really see that much.
Even though we are them at the end of the day.
Yes, but we just live in a ultimately different habitat.
Exactly.
And I think, like, sometimes, like, it's quite a natural, kind of probably human thing, not the best, but out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm. Willful ignorance, I always call it that.
What was that?
Willful ignorance, it means, it's a beautiful thing. I think it's amazing. It's where I think a lot of people in the world do it. I think everybody can say they've done it at some point. You know what's going on, but you've almost got like your little blinkers on, and you're like, nope, I don't want to deal with that because that's scary. Do you know what I mean? Almost like me, big conspiracy theorist, I have my blinkers on with conspiracy theories now because I know that if I go off, I know it's all there about. Actually, I shouldn't start saying this. All these famous people in different countries. But anyway, going off topic here. But yeah, willful ignorance, very true, out of sight, out of mind. And I think that is the issue.
And something that I really, really learned, which was amazing, one thing that I definitely learned was a new word.
What?
Functionally extinct.
There you go.
Did you know that? Because I didn't.
Well, there you go. So that was our story on the white rhinos. Again, very sad. And if you guys want to do anything to help, I mean, WWF, go to their page, help out in whatever way you can. I mean, just care about everyone on this planet, not just us. But next up, we have a very exciting story, a little bit different. So we'll get away from the sad animals and go more to the happy fashion. So we are gonna be...
I was gonna say happy animals, but not quite that, is it?
It's not really, is it? That's what I mean. So we are going to be now speaking to Ecofy, who are two amazing young females who have started up their own new fashion brand, and they have been designing costumes for the likes of Kylie Jenner.
What?
We love her. We love her. Also, an amazing new up-and-coming drag queen, Bimini. You might know who Bimini is.
What?
Bimini Bombula. She's been seen wearing all this stuff. So these girls are amazing. They are going to be taking over the fashion world, and we're going to speak to them all about their sustainable fashion brand and how they do what they do. So stay tuned for that.
I can't wait.
So this is Jack with Topex News. Going to be talking to Julia Forsland, who's one of the two people that run the brand Ecofy. Obviously, it's you and someone called Freya. Freya's not here today, but obviously it's sort of a joint vision between the two of you. So how did you two sort of meet and get to know each other?
We met through university. So we were both in the same hall system, had issues with that whole system, so we bonded in our trauma over how horrible it was. And then we've been like best friends ever since. And then lockdown happened, and through lockdown we started talking a lot about sort of our vision for fashion, our vision for ourselves within fashion. And then that led to conversations about what if we sort of start a brand together, what would that look like? And what would, if we were to do it, sort of where would we sit in that fashion concept? So yeah, it was all sort of very organically, but yeah, we were best friends that then decided to go into business together.
It's a great story, isn't it? It's a very unique style of sort of clothing that you've made as well. So what was the inspiration behind that? Like I see in kind of your Instagram and stuff, there's men and women wearing it. Like, where is there sort of an ethos that's running through and driving what you're doing?
I think for us it's more about it's an attitude more so than a gender. So it's like, if you feel comfortable in our garments, then we encourage you to wear them. And we've had men, women, non-binary people that all want to wear it and try it out. So that sort of came about quite naturally. We never set out to do like women's wear or men's wear or for that matter, non-binary wear. It was just whoever wanted to wear it. We wanted to encourage them to do so.
There's been a couple of influencers that have helped your brand. Obviously, the big name is Kylie Jenner. I think probably a lot of people would want to know what it's like to have that happen to you, where someone with that kind of profile is suddenly knocking on your door, demanding clothes to wear.
Yeah, we got contacted by her stylists, Mackenzie and Alexandra Grandquist, and they asked for some samples. We sent some samples, and then they asked for customs, and we were just like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Julia, for coming on and speaking to us at Hot Topics. So yeah, that was Julia Forsland of Ecofy. And yeah, thanks again. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I love a bit of fashion.
Did you see all those designs that they've done?
Amazing. But
I know.
It's not about me. You are the fashion queen. What do you think about it?
Do you know what? I have a lot to say about this, because the main way I thought they were such a cool brand is you don't often see nowadays that kind of style, that kind of design. It's very runway, it's very like Dolce & Gabbana, it's very Paris Fashion Week. You don't see that mixed with the element of sustainable fashion very much. Usually with those kind of higher end design wares and brands, obviously it's not usually that sustainable. So I don't know, I really rate that they're managing to produce these amazing outfits and looks sustainably too. Like, I don't know, I think it's the new, I'm gonna have to get myself that crop top that Kylie Jenner was wearing, because I just thought it was lush. And you, I think you should get one too.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure I can rustle up something from her collection. Yeah. I'll try anyway. No, but that was amazing. I love the story. I love the zero to hero story.
Yeah.
So I always love that. So yeah, keep on keeping on, girl.
That's amazing.
But we're at that time of the day.
Are we?
That time of the show.
Is it that time?
What time is it? What time is it? Party? No, it's not. It's MMA time. We got MMA in the building.
Wait, right now for a sec, camera. It's his joke, because it sounds like he's saying MMA. We actually are saying MMA, who is an artist, not a female wrestler. You know, like MMA.
Her name's MMA.
No,
what's wrong?
Her name's Emma May.
Oh, MMA.
Not MMA.
I
She's not going to come here and start slam dunking us onto
I'll
the
slam
floor.
dunk you. MMA. Right. New intro. MMA in the building.
Hello again. This is actually a very exciting day. This is our first ever guest interview, exclusive guest interview, very special guest interview. And we are lucky enough today to have with us the up-and-coming, very talented, you've probably all heard of her by now, Emma May!
Hi guys. Thank you for having me. I feel very special.
Thank you for coming.
That's
This is really exciting for us and for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, very
So
exciting.
tell us who you are firstly to the camera.
So I'm Emma. Nice to meet everybody, sort of. I am a singer-songwriter. Basically, the way I describe myself is bitter pop with catchy choruses. So yeah, if you hear one of my songs, you'll probably get it stuck in your head. But that's how we sell, so that's good. Yes, that's me.
Amazing. And your song came out today, didn't it?
Yeah, at midnight. So.
And it's doing. You've got like over.
I haven't actually checked in a while. Should I check?
Go on, check.
I'll check. We'll check the streams. It was at 700 last time I checked, which
700
was
streams.
a couple of hours ago.
Isn't that good?
Where's he gone? It's very good. It's never happened before. Oh, 835. That's nice.
There you go.
Oh
that's
my
nice.
God. 135 more.
That's
Yeah,
so good.
It's very nice. And it's only been out for 12 hours, so yay!
Wow, by the time they're seeing this,
I know. Gosh.
we'll put a bit in the bottom at how many streams it's got
how
on the
many it's
actual day,
at.
like how it's compared, and they can see the growth.
The growth.
But no, that is amazing.
Plenty of growth. I like that.
Yes.
Emma, blimey, before you came in,
Yes.
I was jamming to your tunes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do the dance that I was doing,
The dance was good.
but it got me going.
Yeah, it was a good dance.
It takes a lot to get Mo to vibe to a song
I like
as well.
that.
We
I feel
played it,
very
he was
special.
like,
I said, I can feel it in my soul. Yeah, but it was amazing. You know, so
Thank
what's
you.
it like to see your name on Spotify and things like that?
It's really weird, I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten used to it a bit now because I've released stuff in the past, but the first song I ever released, I screamed. It showed up, that was my name, press play. It was me that started singing on Spotify, which is odd because I was 19 at the time and I never thought that had happened, but yeah, it's gone well since then, so yeah.
Living the dream.
Sort of, yeah. Getting there.
So the next time your neighbours hear a scream,
Yes.
they know that your song's on.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I did scream earlier when I found out that Boys and Bands is in the iTunes charts, which is
amazing. I can't believe that. When you came in, you were like, oh yeah, I'm on the iTunes chart. I was like,
I didn't say it as cool
that
as
does
that.
not happen every day. I know, it's more like a...
Yeah, I think I was shaking at that time, but...
So can you say to the audience, loud and proud, the name of your song that's been released, that's just come out at midnight on Spotify? There we go.
My song, Boys and Bands, is out now. You can guess what it's about. And I love it, so I hope you do as well.
I was going to say, I think that's what we all want to know more about.
Yes. Boys and Bands.
Who are these boys in these bands?
The boys in the bands. Well, for the purpose of the marketing campaign, the boys in the bands are my friends because they're in bands. I do a music course at uni, so I know a lot of boys in bands. So for my marketing campaign, I used these boys in these bands and I did photo shoots with them on Womanby Street to sort of support local music, local musicians, and also link in with the song. So for the purpose of the campaign, they are just my friends, but with the actual song.
I was going to say, don't think that was written for your friends.
No, it's not written for my friends. Yeah, I've noticed that I have a habit of dating boys in bands and then being surprised when I get disappointed. So yeah, the song is essentially about breaking the habit. So yeah.
Do you think it will? Do you think the habit will break?
Probably not.
Just play the song every time.
Yeah, just remind myself, honestly.
So all you boys in bands, just, come on, be nice to her.
Yeah, please be
She's
nice.
amazing. She's so good. Otherwise she'll make a song all about you.
Yes.
Watch out. So tell me more about your inspiration and stuff, because you've got quite a unique sound, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, so my inspiration is sort of just because I never really listened to pop music, even though I make it. I was never really one that listened to the charts or anything like that, and never really listened to radio and stuff. But my inspiration sort of started coming from just the people around me at uni and stuff. So I combined what I used to write, which was sad, acoustic, depressing emo girl kind of stuff, essentially. Yeah, you know exactly.
Rain down the window in the main music video.
100%. I used to do that in the car. I feel like
I still do it.
I'm gonna make that an actual music video.
You need to do it.
You need to do it. It's fun. But yeah, I combined that stuff that I used to write with the people I sort of got put in bands with in my first year of uni. So I was in a pop punk band called Happy Hour, which was interesting. It was very interesting. Let's just say that's where some of the boys in the bands come from. But yeah.
Ooh, Happy Hour.
I feel like they're going to be there like...
Okay.
Oh, it's fine. He knows who he is.
You know who you are. You know who
I want
you
to get
are.
him on the show next. Come on.
Next.
Oh my god. What was I saying?
Yeah. Reload. You were saying.
Yes. My inspirations. There we go.
Yeah.
So I've sort of combined all the people and the people around me and their kind of style of music with my own, and it's turned into this indie pop, electronic-y, punky kind of.
I love that.
I don't know what it is, but it's great.
It's you. That's what's great.
It's me, yeah.
So instead of your inspirations, what are your aspirations in life? So what? I know it's quite a big question.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask the typical where do you see yourself in 5 years, but what do you see yourself doing?
Yeah. Well, I recently got accepted to do a master's degree in London at BIM. Thank you.
London girl?
Yes, I know. That's going to be weird.
Londoner.
I know. I'm actually kind of scared of London, so it's going to be interesting. But
We love it.
yeah, I'm moving there with a few friends as well. We're going to make a little band or something. I don't know. It's going to be fun. And hopefully get a job at some point in the music industry, maybe in songwriting. I'd like to write songs for other people, I think. So
Amazing.
if anyone wants a song.
You know where you can get it.
You should write a Hot Topex jingle.
Oh my gosh, I should.
I
I've written a
should.
jingle before as well. It was
That would
great.
be great.
So in terms of like your aspirations, I mean, you as an artist, I mean, where would you like to go? How would you like to grow? How do you envisage that kind of?
Well, until today, my goal for life was to get into the iTunes charts.
It's done.
For like the next few
It's over
years.
now.
Do you see how amazing that is, though?
I know.
That you it's crazy, honestly.
It's mad.
So you've got to give yourself a bigger dream now.
I know. I'd like to go on tour, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just in the UK, I think that would be cool just to say you've been on tour.
Yeah.
You know? I just booked my first gig back after lockdown, supporting Oliver Beardmore, who is managed by the same manager that I have. His name is Richard. He runs Indie Midlands. He's great. Little shout out there.
Big up.
I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just booked my first gig. That's in Birmingham on July.
Right, come on, the Brummies!
So we're both
That's right. That's right.
You can both come. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
That's right. Go
100%.
party.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, because I only really started getting into the music scene just before the world ended, basically. So
And now how weird, the world ended and your world began.
I know, it's
Yeah,
weird.
wow, I like that. Play your
It
words.
is true.
I might make
Good
that
that.
into a song.
Yeah. There you
Good
go. Oh my
one.
god, you've got to credit me.
Oh well, you'll get
5%, please.
Yeah, royalties, you'll be fine. I guess since then, I used the first lockdown, obviously when you could literally do nothing, to write an EP.
Mm-hmm.
And that did quite well. That was the first one that got me BBC introducing support in the East Midlands. So yeah, I was on the show for the first
So
time.
it caught the attention of the BBC and stuff
Yes,
like that.
it
Wow,
did.
that's
And this one has, hasn't it? You've just been asked
Yeah,
to...
I just got the email like, we're going to play your song on the radio now.
seriously.
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's amazing.
I know.
How do you feel about?
Today doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. But I'm very happy, so yeah, it's going to be good.
I want to know... I always like asking people this question. I think it's such a fun question to ask, and because you're a musician. So, dead or alive? Sorry, sounds a bit intense.
Yes.
Dead or alive? Who are 5 people that musicians or not musicians that if you could? I always love to ask people this question. If you could sit and have a chat with for an hour, who would you want to speak to?
Stevie Nicks,
Amazing.
100%. Freddie Mercury,
Yes.
Freddie boy.
definitely. David Bowie.
Yes. God, you got 2 more.
Alive. I feel like they're all dead. I should probably pick someone that's alive.
Yeah, I know.
No, the table full of
There's a bit of a theme going on there, isn't there?
I was born in the wrong decade, I
Yeah.
swear. Alive. Who's alive? Who knows?
I don't care about anyone who's alive, basically.
That sounds really bad. Dua Lipa would be
Yes.
a great one. She's amazing. These are all musicians, aren't they? Yeah, they're gonna be.
Fair enough, though.
Let's go for a non-musician. He's still a musician, but Harry Styles. You knew it before I even said it.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. cocktails, yeah. It's just, it would be
That sounds like a
nice.
good table. That'd be a
Would
good
be a
table of
great
people
dinner
to speak
party.
to. That would be
Couple of corpses and Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Couple of
I mean,
corpses.
Get it?
what do you want?
Yeah.
So take me back a little bit. So uni days, you mentioned about bands. You know, bands are massive in uni. Everyone's hopping into different bands and stuff like that. You know, so explain that to me. Explain the culture. Explain how you move from that into
Yeah.
the world of a solo artist. You know, out there flying your flag, off to the Midlands, off to Birmingham,
Off to the Midlands.
BBC Birmingham.
And then off to London.
You know,
Yeah,
so
off to London as well.
yeah, so-
Well, we got put in bands so I did a music degree, popular and commercial music at the University of South Wales. And in your first year, you get put into bands.
Wow.
Just because obviously no one knows each other, and it's sort of a way to like figure out everyone's styles. And then over the course of the first term, people sort of like leave bands and join new ones, and everyone ends up where they're supposed to be by the end of the first term, because you just sort of gravitate towards the people that you want to work with. And that's what happened with me. And then we sort of split off in second year, try something new, and I spent a bunch of time in the studio because we sort of got taught how to use that, and we could book out these entire recording studios and all these fancy and extremely expensive microphones. And I was like, well, we can do this, so we might as well make the most of it now.
Literally.
So that's how I made my debut single, in completely free as well, which is insane, and I wish I'd had that at the moment, but that's fine.
Big
But
up USW though.
I know USW is great. Like,
it's all incorporated in the student financial debt that you get at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No,
I'm
it's true though.
it is.
joking.
I mean, I feel like maybe not at the moment because we've not actually been allowed into uni given pandemic, but that's fair. But especially in the first couple of years, I feel like we got our money's worth because we had all these facilities that we could use for free, and if you really do make the most of it, which not everyone does because not everyone cares about uni, obviously, but if you actually make the most of it, it's definitely worth it.
So have you missed it this year then?
So much, yeah.
I bet that's been horrible.
It's been horrible, yeah, completely. Like, we recorded Boys in Bands in my producer's room. He's got an attic room, so the walls are good, the acoustics are fine, and it's great, but it could have been better, you know.
Yeah.
And there's the studio atmosphere as well, just being there, spending a day in the studio with people, always Pringles. I don't know why there's always Pringles there, but there's always Pringles.
You should have told us. I would have got you some Pringles.
No, it's alright.
If she gets really famous and your fans send her a tube of Pringles. What's your favourite flavour?
The green one. What's the green one? The
Sour cream and
that
chive.
one, yeah.
I know it. Or
Yeah,
is it
they
sour cream
are,
and
but they're
onions?
good.
But they're good. They are very good.
Send her a packet of them and a packet of chewing gum for afterwards. There you
Yes.
She said, "Give us smelly breath." No, you haven't. Your breath's
go.
very
You were the
fine.
one who said it, actually,
didn't.
though.
I
but we
didn't.
stopped arguing on camera.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've got a game.
Here we go.
So, Neve.
Oh God, I'm constantly terrified.
All right, come on now.
I'm constantly
Okay.
terrified.
So, Neve's told me that she has some musical talents.
Mo, you are not doing this to me.
I am.
No.
Yes, I am. So,
Okay.
Neve, would you tell the audience and tell Emma what it is that you play?
Well, actually, so he doesn't start to slate me. My forte, I was graded, and I've got my grades in musical theatre, which is singing. And then I self-taught myself the guitar when I was younger, when my future was going to be music. Well, let's not go there. But now I'm stuck here with him. I'm joking. But no, so I'm obviously nothing like Emma. I can strum the guitar and play you some Green Day and some tunes.
She
but
backed out of that one quickly, didn't she?
I'm not back. Do you see me backing out? I'm backing up. I'm
No,
not,
this is the middle of the
Because
day.
that's actually my
No need for
guitar,
backing
so
up.
I do play the guitar. I haven't played in years. I pick one up occasionally when I'm at a friend's house party and I've had a couple of beers. And they're like, oh, we'll play you Riptide. And yeah.
I think.
Go on, what's your challenge?
So I just think it'd be it's quite appropriate maybe. I seen that you brought in a lovely guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe you could play us a little something and maybe Neve you could sing along with that. I don't know. Maybe we could create our own little band. I don't
Imagine if
know.
something beautiful suddenly happens.
Oh my god, it
Who
could.
knows? I've got a bit of a cold though. Look at me.
We're gonna make it come out organically. See, just let it flow.
Get your guitar out anyway.
Get your guitar
Emma.
in.
I wanna
I'll go grab it.
see
I'll
we're in a
grab
lucky,
it.
very lovely space. What are you doing, sweetie?
It's alright. It's gonna be okay. Do you remember that musical dream?
Don't.
It's not over yet.
so bassy. Because I've got these on, it's like, 9 p.m.
Yeah, no, more bass, more bass.
Is it still on, yeah?
No. More bass, more bass.
You're left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Bass.
I think, yeah.
You can't-
From here, I was like, I can't change the shot now.
No,
Yeah.
the bass comes from.
Go on, no, but
down.
I'm scared. If she's something amazing, I'm not doing. Well, you are amazing. I'm not putting it in my hands.
Oh, okay,
I
alright.
can do a bit, okay? I think I remember how to
Okay.
play some songs.
Do you want to go first?
No.
Oh my god. Right. We're going to sing Kumbaya. I'm joking. Since we got a guitar. No. So can you just entertain us, Emma?
Yeah, what do you want me to play? Should I play Boys and Band? I feel
Yeah.
like that might be wise. Can I actually sing
But.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could play something else that Neve could.
That you could sing along to.
Yeah, Neve could sing along too. You know.
Some songs, you know.
I don't know, I thought I said I can just Google the chords.
Yeah. Just think of something.
What song do you
You're
want to
scaring
sing?
me. Well, I might get really slated for this
Think of
now.
something from like back in the
I
day.
think I've got a good voice, but I'm probably going to be
Yeah.
shit. I haven't warmed up either.
Yeah, no.
Me neither, don't
We're
worry.
just gonna enjoy ourselves. I'll do like the back. I'll play the table or something. Be all right.
Okay, what song do we all know and like?
Okay,
A really basic one.
really basic. Come on,
I'm like, I don't know really basic songs.
Should we all-
Neve, come on.
I'm not a basic bitch.
Should we look on ultimate guitar?
that came to mind? You are my sunshine. Oh no.
my only
I was thinking of
son.
plenty.
Do you want me to go really
Any basic
cheese?
song I can
Do you want to do some
like-
cheese? Get out, go on, do some. Yeah, find something.
We could do Hallelujah. That's up there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, let's do that.
We know Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Do I have the app? Apparently I have the app.
Hallelujah.
Oh, I
can do
don't
the
have
bass.
the
I
app.
think I actually sang that for one of my grades once.
Is it?
Yeah, but I have not got the range. I smoke now, so the voice is not as good as it once was.
Right, let's get the key because Lord knows.
The Lord knows. Hallelujah.
That wasn't
Lord
even
knows.
intentional. That's amazing.
Hallelujah!
Can we? Okay, yeah.
That's
right.
got me in the mood
Sing it
already.
together, let's go!
Let's
Okay.
do
You're leading.
All right.
it. Okay, right, let's go. I heard there was a secret chord. Then David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya?
That's right. That's right.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah.
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 This is really difficult.
Come on, we've got it. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you.
That's right.
She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Solo.
Hallelujah. I got it. I brought you back round. That was amazing. Oh my days.
Oh my god, do you know what? Oh, I'm shaking right now because I feel like when you do get famous, I'm gonna have got to sing with you.
It's gonna be good. I'm not gonna lie, I
I
could
got
not
to
see
sing
that.
with her.
Neve, your dream's over.
Was I not good?
You were actually really good.
amazing.
Do you know what?
Actually really good.
I swear. No, I know. Sorry, Neve. You know I'm your biggest fan. That was absolutely really good. And thank you so much for coming along with that because I must have been quite harsh and. You know, you were amazing, Emma.
Very intense.
You better buy that
I just
stuff.
feel honoured.
What's the
I don't
single
care about
chord?
the
What's the
hate
single
comments.
chord?
Boys and bands.
Yeah.
No, not you. Single chord.
Boys and bands.
Camera.
Do it.
When's it out? Yeah, do it. I love
It's
it.
already out.
Midnight. Do it. Get it.
It's already out, but get more.
Yeah.
Get more.
She might have another one out by now. Just basically keep up to date with her. She's
Yes.
great.
I got that from you.
I'm gonna.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
take
That's my
credit
word.
for it.
That's my word of the day. Do
Do
it.
it.
Do it. Just do it. It's like my advert. Just do it.
Just do it.
All right, so we're gonna do it, and absolutely amazing. And this has been fantastic. Abby, you've been amazing. Behind the camera. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh God, look at that lovely hair.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look manicured.
Really not. It's really funky nails.
Not mine. Oh God.
Hello! Hi! Are you enjoying the show? It's good, isn't it? I just thought I'd mention we're offering some advertisement space. Whether you're a starting business, an international business, or local, we can help you promote them. Whether it be in the same style as this, or we can offer you advertisements in the form of banners and product placement. This is a short and affordable way to advertise your business and its details to a young, online and receptive audience. If you're interested with this, email talk to us at topex.news. Speak soon. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Next up, we have an exclusive interview with the assistant producer of Sega arcade games, Matt Holmes. Now, he's going to be telling us about how their games are designed, created, and produced. And with that, we've got our wonderful Chris as the presenter, so enjoy.
Over to you, Chris.
Hello, my friends at Hot Topics. We are on our first show in Topics News, Hot Topics, and we're going to talk with a good friend of ours of the show, works in Sega Arcade, Sega Entertainment, right here in Cardiff. As you might know or may not know, Sega has a big thing here in the city where they develop great arcade games. So we're going to have here on the show, give a warm welcome to our friend Matt Holmes. How are you, Matt?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good too. Hey, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do there on Sega, and what games have maybe we have seen you working in?
So at Sega, I'm an assistant producer, and that essentially means I keep the wheels turning for the production of games. A lot development, art, IP management, financials, biz dev, this, that, and the other.
Okay.
Jack of all trades kind of role. And games I've worked on, Daytona, both of the Transformers games, Human Alliance and Shadows Rising, ATV Slam, Jet Blaster, Mission Impossible that was recently released.
That's cool.
Well.
They're great franchises, man. Like, congrats on that. That sounds really awesome. And how's that like having your work to be like free play, like playing video games all day? It's like at the gamer's fantasy, or it can be a little bit more challenging than it sounds?
I think a lot of people believe it's fun, but it's not. It might be fun for the first week, maybe 2 weeks, but you have to have a great eye for detail. So you have to be able to catch any frame drop, a split texture, a missing animation, a misaligned bit of text, absolutely anything you have to pick up while you're playing the game. And on top of that, you have to be very good at it, because you have to be able to fit, for example, Daytona, you have to be able to finish first, or indeed in any position in any race at any time, in order to reproduce or repro, we say for short, repro a bug. So if you're playing Championship, which is the hardest mode the game has, you might have to finish in first, third, then eighth specifically, so that you can repro a bug. And that can be, it's challenging to be bad. You have to be good enough to be bad, essentially.
Yeah, you have to be good, bad, an expert. You have to cover all ranges. And how your previous experience, just like a normal gamer, were you a big fan of Sega video games, like old arcade video games, like we know, like, I don't know, Golden Axe or Altered Beast, Outrun? Did you play those games when you were younger too?
So I wasn't a big arcade gamer, but my first console was a Master System. So I definitely experienced the amazing back catalogue of the Master System. And yeah, some of the titles you mentioned there, Altered Beast, absolute classic, Golden Axe 2, there's just so many great games on those classic consoles.
Well, I want to thank you a lot, Matt, for being here on Hot Topics. And I don't know, maybe just some last words that you may have.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And if you want to see Sega's latest games, head to any Super Bowl near you, and I'm sure you'll catch a Sega game in there.
That's great. So I'm gonna go bowling, and I'm gonna tell you what I thought about the games whenever I have the time.
I love feedback. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you'll have it. Thanks a lot, man. And thanks a lot for our friends in Hot Topics. Let's see what more news do we have to see.
So Mel, I don't really know. I find it so interesting, but I don't really know much about arcades because I'm blessed with the essence of youth. Not that you aren't, but I do know what in the nicest way. I feel like you're more likely to have been in an arcade.
Like cheese.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Stilton.
She's so rude.
Not very nice.
Well, yes, I have memories of the arcade.
Yeah, do you? Because I'm actually interested.
Breaking the entry. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I don't get it. Again, I'm too young. Sorry.
But yeah, arcades are... arcades are kind of like a thing of the past, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of nostalgia around arcades and Sega itself.
Are arcades like the ones that you only go to Barry and you go in and they've got the little coin things and stuff?
Don't act naive. Don't act like you don't know, girl.
Is that an arcade?
That's an arcade.
Oh, okay. I like arcades.
Yeah, but you lose lots of money.
Yeah, you do lose. You put like £10 in, get it in 2p's, and all your 2p's are gone, and you get one little shrivelly like weird keychain at the end of it. That's all you get to show for it. But it's the fun of it that matters.
It is, but question. Are you a gamer?
Am I a gay man?
Are you a gamer?
Oh.
That's the next question.
I thought you said, are you a gay man? I was like, no. Am I a gamer? Yeah, but not arcades. I am a gamer. I play the PlayStation, PS4. Can't lie, I don't care if anyone laughs at me this. I love the Wii still. But yeah, I'm a PlayStation girl. Not arcade games.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're not a board game gal?
Do you know what? I'm not opposed to a board game.
I like that, opposed.
What's your favourite board game?
Well, do you know what? I used to really like drafts. I was really good at drafts.
What the hell is that? What is drafts?
Is it like
Tumbleweed.
What is drafts?
Drafts is a game like a little bit like chess. It's like a black and white checkered board, and it's drafts. Everybody knows drafts, don't they?
Well, maybe instead we'll have to play it in here. We'll have to play it because I have never played this game, so you can show me how it's done.
I've got another game. It's not a board game, but it's called Connect 4.
I love Connect 4.
Connect 4 King.
Nah. Anyway, what have we got next, Mel?
We have next. I forgot. What was it?
We have Pride Diaries.
We have Pride Diaries. Over to you.
As it's recently been the end of Pride Month, we want to celebrate diversity in and around Cardiff, across the globe, everywhere. So get to know these lovely people and hear all about them.
Hi, my name's Ella. I am a non-binary lesbian and my pronouns are they, she.
So, I'm Georgia and I'm 22 and I identify as bisexual.
So I identify as bisexual.
I am very lucky because I don't really feel like I ever kind of came out. I've always been quite a strong-willed person, and that isn't meaning to say that if you have to come out, you're not strong-willed, but I'm lucky enough to come from a family that are very accepting of who I am. And I get that it's important in some settings, but for me, I was like, hell no, I am not coming out. I don't believe in it. Nobody has to come out saying this straight. But for most of my life, I did think that I was bisexual until this year. And then I realised last year, in fact, I realised that I was a lesbian. And I think maybe I might have said something then, like to my mum. I think my mum was asking me, maybe, I don't know. I definitely came out as non-binary, like very drunk at my 23rd birthday. I was like, hey guys, I'm non-binary. And everyone was like, alright, cool, like, fine.
I don't ever post about it. I don't, it's not like in my bio. It's not, you know how a lot of people who, you know, are part of the LGBTQ plus community will post it in their bio. That's, you do you, but that's just not for me personally, just because I rather keep those things to myself. So like quite personal things, I've got no issues with talking about them, you know, like I'm doing this, so if anybody wants to know, I'll tell them, but I don't go out of my way to really talk about it.
I didn't ever really come out like how you'd expect. I didn't really make an announcement. I just kind of told my friends over the last year, actually. I think I like both genders, sexes, and she was like, they were all just like, yeah, we know, we figured, you know. So I didn't really come out. I was just lucky to have like constant support no matter what, really.
LGBTQ plus community. Again, I haven't really thought about it. Like I've been to Pride and I've been to, you know, stuff like that. So, and it is nice. It's a good atmosphere to be in because you can just dress and be like you fully without having a care in the world. And no one will really bat an eyelid at like what you're wearing, because there's always going to be someone else that's wearing something so flamboyant and so incredible that it's, you know, it's just a nice space to be in where you feel like people aren't always looking at you, and you can just go and have fun, and you know everyone there as well is not going to judge you if they see you with a girl, or you know, like it's a nice place. It's comforting to be around that. It's just a shame it only happens like once a year.
Being able to be a part of this community has been life-changing to me. You know, queer dating outside like is so different to dating heterosexually, and yeah, I love it. So
what it means to be part of the community, I would say I'm fairly new to it openly. So a lot of it means to be celebrating life freely with my friends who are also, a lot of them are not straight, protecting them, celebrating love, cringe but true. Yeah, it means a lot.
If you're young and you're curious and you're confused, that's okay, like that's fine. Just don't think about it too much. Just do you, like don't try and figure it out. Just do what you want to do, and then as you get older you'll be more understanding of how it is that you feel. But like,
yeah, just don't put so much pressure on knowing exactly who you are. Just do what makes you feel good, do what makes you feel joyful, and just know queer people are ready to open you, ready to welcome you with open arms, baby, okay? Open arms, bring it in. All right, thank you so much.
What do you think about that then, Mel?
I like that. I was quite touched.
Yeah, it's touching, isn't it?
I think it's amazing that people can feel strength to talk their truth, I think.
I know, and that's only really, I mean, it's different for everybody, but I feel like it's only really happened a lot recently for a lot of people where they feel like they can start to share their stories and things. Because I know prior to the interviews, and I was speaking to them, a lot of them said how they wouldn't have been comfortable to do this even like 3-4 years ago. Just the recent movement of saying no to homophobia, it's just amazing. I think it's allowed so many people to express who they are and be who they want to be, and I mean it's amazing.
What would you say? Like, I'd say, you know, just you're in the scene,
I'm in the scene. I am very much in the scene.
She don't let me in the scene,
No.
type of thing. Get out, go. But yeah, so what's your take on that, really? Because, do you find that people are more open to speak, and
I find it's makes me a bit sad, really. A mix. I think since I've fully come out within the past couple of years, it's been amazing. For example, my family. The main thing I was scared about is telling my family, and they were more than I could ever have expected in my whole entire life. So that's amazing. And it's weird how those are the people that I thought would judge me, and how I thought random people would accept me. But it's weird how they're the people who accept me, and I weirdly feel like other people now judge me. I found it from a lot of acquaintances and things. I still think there's a very backwards look on it, almost as if I'm not normal now and I'm suddenly this different person. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important to do these segments, because I feel it's so important to educate people. I mean, what's your view?
I mean, I just wanted to ask you, more in terms of the change that you've seen with people that you've got who are close to you. What does that look like? I mean, how?
To be fair, for example, I can give a perfect example. I think it's my partner's friend from Bristol, who was non-binary deep down, but they were still a girl going out with a guy, and they felt so hidden and closed and stuff. And then when people started talking about it a lot more, I think there was something that happened. I remember it being at the time of the Black Lives Matter movement, and something happened, and that, she told me, was the moment that made her change and be like, actually, I'm not going to live for other people anymore. And I think the one good thing about COVID and everything is all brought into that. People are finally starting to be like, what is the point of me hiding who I am? There's so much other oppression in the world that I'd rather just be me. But it's still a very scary place to live in. I think there's still so many places in the world that are not where we are. Even the UK is not where it fully needs to be.
So do you feel like COVID was a perfect opportunity for people to just get acquainted with themselves?
Well, that's what I mean. I think that's exactly what I'm saying. If people didn't come out or whatever, I think COVID was a perfect time. Again, I met my partner now through COVID, but for people to really find, because you're stuck with yourself that whole time. You're finding out who you are, what you want in life, in terms of straight people and gay people. But again, I mean, for the LGBTQ plus community, and personally in my perspective and from my friends who I've spoken to, almost the past year has given people reason to be like, F it, I'm just going to be me, Because why not? Because you is great, girl.
You is great. I mean, so do you feel like you have just a quick question, actually. Do you feel...
Interviewing me now?
Oh, no! What am I doing? Who are we interviewing next week? Never mind now. Never mind interviewing you.
Got Macy on next week.
Let me have a look in my crystal ball. Ask me a question.
Picture of Macy's face comes up. So next up, we have the amazing performance. You just saw us talking. Sorry if I made you sad there. He's still rubbing his crystal ball. So, next up, we have the performance for you now of Emma May. If you thought she was great while we spoke to her, wait till you hear her open her mouth and sing. It's unbelievable.
This is 17. Take it away.
Thank you.
Just grow older, with every winter getting colder. 3 whole years of scraping by and holding on for dear life. This is supposed to be my time. Pave the way for future sadness, 'cause I just cannot seem to shake this mood. But I got time to change my mind and force myself to see the light. I'll be fine. But all I know are washed out skies and sunken eyes and hard to swallow things we tried. The bitter taste of real life. It's hard to work when you're this down. We come around and spend our
bit too emotional right now. That was honestly one of the most amazing songs I've actually ever heard.
Oh my God,
genuinely.
thank you. I'm sorry.
That just sent me to like a place.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
Do it.
Where's the lyrics?
Bye guys.
Blimey, that was a good show.
Yeah, I was a bit sweaty on that one, wasn't it?
Oh, just a bit.
But we've got even more exciting stuff coming up next week. Why don't you take it away, Mo, and tell our lovely audience?
Yes, please. We have Mr. Great in the building next week. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bullet, bullet, bullet.
He is amazing. If you, like we said, if you don't know who he is, go check him out before the show because you'll be even more excited to see his talent.
Cardiff's finest. We also have, wait for it, Andrew Biggie Morris. Ooh.
Now, some of you guys right now are probably thinking yes, and some of you are thinking, who the hell? Go onto TikTok, find this guy, entertain yourself for the evening, and then come back to our show next week to be even more entertained. He is
cray cray.
He's a comedy legend. He's absolutely amazing, and he just makes the day better. And also stay tuned with us to watch me and Mo a bit more personal. We're going to be critiquing some other influencers because we're hoping to make it onto the influencer realm at some point with what we're doing here.
Of course.
So we want to take a bit more of a dive into the lives of some other influencers and see what it's all about. So we're going to be diving into the lives of Luke Brando and Phoebe Nichols to see what's going on, see what's crack-a-lacking with it.
See what's going on.
And seeing what we think about it and everything.
Of course.
And finally, we're going to be doing a really cool, one of my favourite stories coming up. We're going to be doing the skating squad. We're going to be going down to Cardiff Bay, one of the biggest skate parks in Cardiff, and speaking to the male skaters there and the females about the gender inconsistencies within the skating world, because coming from a skating background myself, it's very prominent. So anyway, stay tuned for that. It's going to be amazing. And also stay tuned to see some really sick skaters and some really cool tricks.
And if she's lucky, she might see me pull my old skates on and we may have a skate off.
Don't tell me that because I can skate and I would love to see you doing that. That's happening now. Let's go now. Come on, we're going to the skate park.
Okay.